2,000 Japanese verbs with example sentences and translation. It's done. It's ready. You can all use it if you want. I've been working on it for a while, but I finally managed to finish it. So, the whole list. What we've got here is the phonetic transcription, translation, and the Japanese. There might be mistakes because I haven't checked the whole thing yet. So, maybe they're not aligned, and maybe this one, because I don't, obviously, I can't read this one. Maybe this one is a line below or something like that. If that's the case, I'll fix it at some point between today and tomorrow, because obviously I'm going to start learning this. And once you are listening to it with the audio files and you're reading along, well, you don't really read it, you just use this as reference and you shadow it, right? But while I'm doing that, if I'm listening to this one, so let's say it's another one, I'm listening to this one, but it should be this one, but it's, I don't know, this one. Um, I'll immediately notice that something's weird there, so I'll listen again and then rearrange them. It happened before with other languages. If I can't read it yet, so there might be mistakes. If you find mistakes when you try it, it's a matter of time that they fix everything, right? This is AI generated, so obviously it's not going to be perfect. But the more I use it, the more I'll polish it, and the fewer mistakes there'll be because I notice them, because I will be listening while reading, and I'll be repeating it aloud. So the audio files, by the way, it's right now they're being processed, so they'll be available at some point today or maximum tomorrow. So audio files for all of this. I'll create one. The first one is just going to be one sentence each. So you listen to this one, then the next, sorry, this one, then the next sentence, then the next sentence. No English translation. That's why this is for. Because if you start listening to it and 50% of it is just English, that's a massive waste of time. So the way you should do this is listen to it and shadow it here, and then quickly look at the meaning, and then you keep listening to it while you do something else and you shadow it. But you don't need to do the Pimsleur thing of, and now we're going to hear this guy who talks to this Japanese woman in the, no, because that's a huge waste of time. Let's just listen to the sentences over and over and over, as long as the sentences you've already looked up. So that's what the spreadsheet's for. You can also download the CSV file and create flashcards with this. But for now, I just recommend reading this while listening. You should work on your reading speed if this is too difficult, but just listen and say it alongside it. So you shadow it and you look at this as well. Yeah. So you have to be fast. So you say it, or maybe you just check the meaning quickly, then say it. Check the meaning quickly, say it. You have to be fast. But the first one will be just everything just once. And then I'll make another one. This will take a little bit more time because obviously it's 5 times the amount of audio, right? But it's going to be each sentence 5 times, so that you can listen and repeat or shadow the first one 5 times, knowing what you're saying, and you know exactly what you're saying, and each time each repetition you do it a little bit better. Try to sound as close as possible to the native speaker, well, AI generated, but native speaker like audio. It's still way better than just doing something else. It's effective, especially in the beginning. So each time, so the second time you'll be closer, and third time you'll be closer, and the fifth time you'll be probably pretty good. Even if you're just starting to learn the language, right? So you just keep doing this over and over and over with all the. So 2,000 sentences, 5 times each. That's 10,000 sentences. Um, If you do this whole thing 5 times each, it's probably 5 to 10 hours, around 10 hours, I would say. Yeah, you can do the whole thing, listen and repeat the whole thing, or at least just listen to the whole thing once a week if you are committed. And at first, you should do it while you've got this in front of you, and then just keep doing it. Maybe not the whole thing, but listen to it regularly from now on so that you review everything. Again, associations. Try to associate first, memorize the vocab first, because it's going to make recognizing what you're listening to much easier because you know the words. Keywords, not the to, here, and he, she. That stuff you learn in context fast and easily. I'm talking about nouns and verbs and things like that. For example, technology is kijutsu or I don't know the exact pronunciation, but I imagine jujitsu looks very similar. But I imagine like a really high tech jujitsu guy who's like the gi that's like a cyborg. And with that, I know that Gijutsu or Jijutsu, not sure exactly how to pronounce it, but I know that's technology. And I do this with hundreds of, I did it with 120, 186 words today, 186 words memorized with associations. Slightly over an hour for that. And yeah, then I did a couple thousand, slightly over a couple thousand reps. 2012 exactly of shadowing or listening and repeating, whatever you want to call it. And that's it for today. I've just finished this list. I haven't been learning them. I learned a few hundred at first, but then I stopped. The plan was to learn this whole list the first week. Today is day 6, but I started focusing on speaking more. But now I really don't like when I say I'm going to do something and then I got distracted. I just switched to doing something else, and I end up not doing it in the time frame I said I was going to do it. So the rest of the day today, still have a good couple hours of learning time. Maybe I'll just like skip. Yeah, I'll just skip the chilling time today, and I'll just keep learning till 12 o'clock or something. And then tomorrow I'll just go hard and memorize the whole thing, and listen and repeat for hours. Probably won't memorize the whole list perfectly. Yeah, probably not, but I want to have a nice list of vocab and especially verbs that I can recognize already. And then I will start working. And the next thing that's coming is this. To I'm going to create massive sentences. So all these verbs, I'll create 10, 20 times the amount of sentences, and each one of these verbs, there'll be maybe 10, 20 sentences with each one of the verbs in all its forms, with a lot more vocab and also all the grammar in there. And we can learn that if you are following my learning and doing what I'm doing. We can learn that the next few weeks. Well, that's going to be hard work, but it's worth it because it's going to help you. It's going to help you understand way more when you actually try to listen to native speaker content, authentic content, watch anime or whatever you're into. I might watch Dragon Ball Z at some point. That's the only anime I've ever watched. It was a big thing here when I was a kid. Everyone watched it. It's the only one I'm familiar with. But I might, just for the sake of nostalgia, I might watch it at some point. Maybe I'll watch it and recall myself and see how much I understand. I don't know if there's any way of finding complete episodes in Japanese somewhere online, but I'll try. That make for interesting content. But yeah, before all of that, because a lot of people ask me about that, you will always have loads and loads of words in authentic content that you don't know, especially if you did the thing of let's learn with comprehensible input, let's listen to stories and things like that, and beginner material for 300 hours, and then 1,000 more hours of intermediate materials and things like that. If you do that, the jump from that to authentic materials is always going to be very challenging, and there's going to be a lot of vocabulary that you don't know, and it's also going to sound way faster than you used to, and what's likely to happen is that you stay forever stuck to those beginner or intermediate materials because I'm not ready yet. So instead of doing that, just crush this. Take the 2,000 verbs, uh, binge listen and repeat the list, shadow it over and over again. You listen and repeat. Uh, we'll learn the whole list, memorize the associations, and listen to the list a lot. Also listen and repeat a lot, and also at some point later retrieval practice with flashcards to translate from English into the target language to learn them all, to make sure that we know the grammar, doing everything the right way. Um, and then the longer list. And that's the plan, all right? Obviously, I'm going to continue with my language islands. I said 1,000-ish sentences at first, so I think it's going to be way more because I think I should do more language islands because I think the return on investment is huge. Every time you learn a language island, and especially if you learn a bunch of them, let's call them a language archipelago. Uh, every time you learn a bunch of them, your ability to speak immediately improves. It's the most powerful speak technique when it comes to speaking, as long as you do it with shadowing or listen and repeat it, not just you write them and you occasionally look at them. No, you need to actually say them. Yeah, but yeah, this is it. This is day 6. Um, this is day 6. I'm pretty happy with how things are going. Tomorrow I'll try to speak some Japanese, maybe 30 seconds, 1 minute at least. I'll butcher everything I'm saying, but at least I'll give it a try, and I'll give you my 1 week impression. But for now, I think it's going pretty well. So again, day 6, what I did was finish this list, which is important. Finish creating it, preparing it, and then more memorization from vocab of my with vocab from my language islands, and yeah, listen and repeating. But this list, I'll work. In, in fact, I'm gonna start working on it right now after I'm done with the video. Anyway, see you later. I'm gonna keep studying.